the market seems to be kind of falling out of love with the agile methodology.
Mm,
Have you seen that? And do you know if there's a reason behind that?
yeah, man. Agile is not a process. It's a methodology. It's an idea of putting people over process. It's an idea of doing short iterative bursts of work and constantly seeking feedback. The idea being work for a week, show your friends what you made, ask for their feedback, and then go back and work on it, some more. Don't work for 5 months in a closet and then come out with your product and showcase everything to everybody, because the needs of your customer might have changed, the industry might have changed. So the spirit of Agile was to be agile, right? Like, I can move here, I can move there, I can adjust as the needs of my customer. We're trying to hit a moving target when we're building software. I think a lot of companies took Agile and they put a capital A in front of it and they wanted to kind of slap a trademark on it. And a lot of people went, Agile is Scrum. That's really what I think is dying, is Scrum. The idea of these very regimented daily stand-ups, very specific ways to write cards, velocity tracking where you just assign arbitrary numbers. Well, this card's 5 blueberries. Well, this card is 10 pineapples. I think a lot of people have really kind of lost the shine on the whole like Scrum thing. And then you would have a Scrum master, which is like an individual on your team whose only job was to essentially like execute the Scrum process. All of this kind of got together and you lost people over process. A person comes up and they sit there in a meeting and they go like, I don't know how many story points this card is. Like, I don't even know what to say. Like, you're asking me to, spike a prototype of an entire iOS app. I don't know if it's 10 points. I don't know if it's 2 points. And the project manager, the scrum master, will twist that person's arm and go, you need to give me a number because that is our process. Because we put it into the burn down chart and then we turn that burn down chart into an Excel document. And then that's a line graph or a bar graph or whatever kind of graph that they think their shareholders really like. And then that ends up, in the executive board later. And it's like, look how efficient our development team is. Check out the velocity. Look at the line. People are trying to like assign sales and currency related concepts, like profit and revenue going up and like accounting, and trying to do that with software. I encourage people, go back and read the Agile Manifesto. The goal of it was really to put humans first and put some like empathy into the development process. And first was understanding the needs of your customers. And then second was like understanding the needs of your team and then merging those two things together so that, you can have an efficiently operating team that's actually building the things that your customers and your stakeholders really want, not just a stand up with sprints and a velocity burn down chart. That's like, I don't think we're there yet, in the software development, discipline where we can have that level of insight into like progress of building a system. If you want to look at the output of your engineering team, look at their actual output, not just a bunch of arbitrary points that a couple engineers just made up in a room while they were sitting there begging to get out of the meeting. I think that's why people are losing their shine on it. They realize it's inaccurate. It's not informative. It doesn't help.
What is the best way to measure? Because I feel like there's like highly productive developers. They can work at 10x the speed of other developers, and they seem to get a ton of work, and they like truly hit their WIP limit, work
Mhm.
in progress limit. And then there's like the other devs who can like intentionally pretend that they've hit their WIP limit, and they're like throttling their workload so that it seems like it's a difficult story that they're working on. Maybe it's worth 10 blueberries, but really they're only working 4 hours every 2 weeks
Mhm.
and posting, funny skits on Instagram, like a couple of them that I follow. So, like, how do you measure the productivity of a developer?
I would say, in this day and age, you yourself need to just have engineering experience. If you cannot open GitHub and watch the commits roll in and understand what that means for your business and, the evolution of your product, then maybe you need to hire a technical co-founder that can, because it is absolutely a thing where, if engineers feel like there's very little to no oversight on whatever it is that they're doing, and I don't think this is unique to development, this happens in all industries all over the world. They will absolutely tell you, I'm working so hard. And if you have no idea how to do what they do, you're just going to have to trust their word. And you need to make sure you hire some really, really trustworthy people if that's what you want to operate off of. I've led teams of engineers as big as like 30 something people. I never had any issue opening up GitHub and looking at the projects and seeing, oh, this person has a committed code in 5 days. It's very obvious. That's like me walking out onto the factory floor and watching people work. I say put eyes on it and make sure you have a partner that understands what it is that they're looking at.